Greetings and salutations. Justin Hoggins rides again. Again. It's my new favourite YouTube channel, or one of them, Justin Hawkins Rides Again. It's very, very good. If you like music and you like music being dissected, Justin Hawkins, who heads up, what's it called? The Darkness. Interesting guy. Let's see if I can get him on the show one day. I'm Russ Kane. What is left of him? This is killing me. Absolutely. Here's some advice, kids. Don't break anything. Yep, this is the Daily Show. This is Men's Radio Show. And being Friday, it means that my little pal, my chum, the homeowner, the head of Talk TV, the head of Talk Radio, ladies and gentlemen, it's Rupert. It's Phil Dave.
Well, outrageous. You're going to get me fired one of these days. I'd just like to clarify, people. I'm most certainly not the head of Talk TV, but I'm very flattered.
Are you sure?
Oh, thank you. But
is it the 18-year-old who always greets me at reception at 2:15 in the morning? Is it her?
No.
Okay.
But I know who you're talking about, and she's very
so
nice.
Sweet. She's so nice. It always pays to be nice to people.
But I have to tell you, it's in the genes because her old man.
No, you're going to spoil the story. You're going to spoil the story. Take a look. There's a sort of senior producer there, and I said to him, that girl's great. She's just so full of energy, and she's so charming and helpful, and she really is a really good radio person. He says, I'm so glad you said that. It's my daughter. Can you imagine? I could have said something dreadful. How are you, Phil? How is the
Which inevitably does happen. So.
Well, of course it bloody does. God, yes. How is Dave Towers?
Well, I have to tell you, so far, Dave Towers is going okay. I'd spent all of yesterday from probably about 7 in the morning right the way through to about 9 p.m. just building flat pack furniture, moving sofas and stuff like that.
Sofas. Sofas. I see.
Good.
Okay.
It's looking more and more like a home at the moment. Don't get me wrong, there's still a little way to go, but I'm very much looking forward to it looking a little more homely so I can actually start inviting people round. Sen Monroe, very good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon to Sen Monroe. Good afternoon all the way in New York State to Azadon Brown. Good day to you, Robert Van Buren. DJ, he's not a DJ, he's a clockmaker, but it's such a groovy name. It's a fabulous name. Robert Van Buren, live in Stockholm. Hello.
I wonder if Robert Van Buren approve of my clock. There you go.
Don't know. What do you think, Robert?
I
call him Bobby. I don't call him Bobby.
Elizabeth Green over in New York says good morning.
God, look who's rocked up.
Oh, Beanie. Hello.
It's Lloyd Beanie. Lloyd, do you need the toilet? Lloyd.
It confused me the other day.
What?
Because Beanie cropped up with someone else that I know, and I didn't realise the two of them knew each other.
Who's that?
Paul Rothman.
Who's Paul Rothman? Paul Rothman, the magic guy.
Yeah.
The magician. Oh, I like Paul Rothman.
Yeah.
I was supposed to see Paul, but I never made it to see Caroline.
I know you didn't, excuse me.
I felt absolutely wrecked. I've got the hello both, late night Neil. No, Neil doesn't do Friday.
That's rude.
Bit bloody rude, isn't it? Yeah, shut your face, Paul Andrews.
Wow.
Chic. Yeah, shut up. Oh, and we've got answers.
Paul is a good chum. There you go.
Paul is a good chum.
Who knew?
Yeah.
I mean, clearly you knew, but I didn't. Had dinner with him in LA.
Hang on. Sorry, hello.
Paul Andrews.
Yeah, too late, baby.
The brink of hilarity.
You're on Phil Dave's shit list. Lloyd Beanie says, had dinner with him in LA a few weeks back. What, Luton Airport? Oh, this is hilarious. This is from
Facebook user.
Which means you're watching on my Espresso Bar. The Espresso Bar is a Facebook group. Please feel free to join. It's always quite fun.
He doesn't need the toilet.
Come on. He's already Beanie.
Hey! I thought I'd let you have the punchline.
Paul Endicott.
Oh, Paul Endicott, you'll be sorry you asked that.
It's bloody awful. I don't mind telling you. It is driving. Thank God for Ollie Mammon and all his CBD and hemp and God knows what else I'm on. It's.
You bringing gloves?
No, look, that's how my hand looks. It's that crap. Look, I'm not wearing gloves.
Sorry,
it's
no, it looks
just
a bit pale. Oh my god! Seriously, what are the docs saying about it? You can't go on like that.
what does the doc say? It'll take months and months. I mean, the truth of the matter is, and I knew this the moment I'm normally pretty optimistic. I think I've got to be realistic. I am not going to get full mobility back in my left hand, which is a pain in the ass because I'm left-handed, and I've got no strength in this, and I've had to do so much moving. I've been since last weekend doing all the stuff from my lockup. I'm only a third of the way through. It's taken me an entire week. I've lost track of the number of trips to the recycling and to the charity shop and everything, charity shop and all that. So atrophy, they've all got it atrophy. Paul Andrews says, yeah, well, I can do all this, but the little finger is absolutely screwed. Lloyd's loving the joke, by the way, about he doesn't need the toilet, he's already beanie. There we go. Righty-ho. And Paul Endicott, I think, was celebrating 60 years of the Rolling Stones. It's been a big thing because we had Leslie Ann Jones on the show with her book, which was excellent. Like, you sent me a copy. Rather, her publishers did. And then Paul Endicott, I think, did a special tour celebrating 60 years of the Rolling Stones. Ridiculous. They thought they'd be a success for maybe a year. 60 years on, they're packing out stadiums. Absolutely fantastic. So,
still rolling.
Yeah. So tonight, would 8 o'clock sort of be convenient? I'm just thinking, for about top 12 people. Don't get busy. Just 12 people, maybe.
Do you know, nothing would give me greater pleasure than to actually start sort of finally paying back the hundreds of invitations. Why on earth are you drinking water out of a wine glass?
Because it cheers me up. It makes me feel better. I'm not in a good spot at the moment, and so drinking water from a rather lovely wine goblet cheers me up.
Well, I got a wine glass without the stem. There you go.
Oh, that's nice. I like those. But the trouble is, I drink very fast. So if we order,
but that's what I like about these glasses, actually, because when I bought them, they actually say they can be used as everyday glasses. They can also be wine glasses as well, but just without a stem, because you can see from the shape of them. Nice, huh?
Yeah, nice. Elizabeth Green from Manhattan is saying this. 1963, Rolling Stones, a country club, Belsize Park. Oh, yeah. I think quite a few of you were there. And Paul Endicott says was a great success at the 100 Club. Yeah, it was the 100 Club. I saw your post, Paul. It was good. On Fridays, by the way, in case you're wondering why we're not talking about people standing on bridges and throwing them. What are you doing?
Well, you got sunglasses on. I'm feeling left out.
I'm not. They're not sunglasses. They're sighted.
Well, why are they tinted?
Because it reduces the glare from the lights that I have on. That's the only reason I wear them. And also, my eyes look like crap this morning. I mean, look at this. Gee, I am so tired. Look at this. That's me. But I really look like 102. I think a lot of people saw the Stones in the early days. Paul Endicott does this thing. He's been a guest as well. He does. Do you remember that, Phil? Paul does all the tours around.
Yeah.
It's really good. So they did
I'm ashamed to say I haven't been on one yet, but I have.
They're fun. I haven't been on one either, but they're great. Ian Foreman says, "Oh, good morning, chaps. It can't be a pain in the arse for us, more of a pain in the head."
I see what you did there, Ian. Well done.
Thank you, Ian. Bless you. And what we try to do on Friday...
He has got a point. There are worse places to have rods stuck in.
Oh, God, yes. Yeah, I know that. The Searchers the week after. Yeah, the Searchers were okay. I mean, they made some nice tunes, and I know they were still... I think they only stopped playing... Oh, you guys would know. Paul, help me out here. Paul Endicott and Beanie would know as well. I think the Searchers stopped playing last year. They finally said we're going to retire. Very good. I saw them at a wedding.
Maybe they found what they were looking for.
No, that's Bono. I did a gag. Sam Monroe. I've been obsessed with the James Webb telescope. I've been obsessed since I heard about it. So now the pictures are starting to come through. I love the way that Biden started to try and take credit. Jesus Christ. It's got absolutely nothing to do with you, Biden, former vice president, Joe Biden, as Stephen Crowder always calls him. And the images are fantastic, of course, absolutely magnificent. And so Sam Monroe on his Facebook thing was putting up some pictures and saying how great it was. And I just wrote this morning, over my third espresso. I just wrote they should let Bono look through it so he can finally find what he was looking for. And there we go. That was the end. It was better as a visual gag.
I see what you did though.
What's
I wouldn't
this?
say it's hot, but I'm finding, and I don't know whether or not this is sort of something new or whether it's something to be worried about, but I'm hoping it's just the heat. But I'm finding the back of my legs are perspiring. Is that normal?
Yes, it's normal.
Okay. Because I've never had that before. It's quite weird.
Well, it's all part of growing up, Philip. So
it makes me feel like I wet myself.
As you become a man, your testicles are going to descend and all sorts of changes will happen.
Excellent.
But not until your bar mitzvah. Not going to happen until then.
Already.
It's not going to happen until then. What is this? Then it's saying, had rods stuck in me on Wednesday, awaiting the results. No, I'm not doing any black hole. You had rods stuck in you? Yeah, it was. It's not. So, I tell you, I was chatting to the lovely Leslie Demeser, and she had a series.
Lovely Demeser.
The lovely Leslie, lovely Demeser, and she's got a shocking scar from her fall. You know, she had a series of falls.
Oh my God, it's like being in the pensioners' home. What's the matter with you?
Well, this is the point. You're actually making the point that Leslie and I were talking about.
Oh.
And it's this. This stupid fall, breaking my left hand, has really... It's shaken me up. Now, why? Why? It was a fall, but it's shaken me up. It's made me feel horribly mortal. And I thought, that was just me being an arse, as per usual. And Leslie Demeser said exactly the same thing. We are both terrified of having another fall. When I'm walking the dog or out and about, I am so stupidly careful now. I mean, stupidly careful. And I'm not someone who gets nervous. I don't get nervous about things like that. And it's really propelled me into a place I do not want to be.
Well, I think the problem is...
I think
the problem is...
2-week wait. No, I don't.
Yeah, but I think the problem is that it's reminded you that when anyone goes through something like this, it reminds one that you're not as rock solid as you might be forgiven.
No, this is exactly what has happened. It's made me feel frail.
It's the same.
Not me.
But it's the same way that in which that when I remember sort of when I got mugged, and I'd never had anything like that before, thank God. But I know that when I did, it suddenly made me think, oh my goodness me, you know, I'm not immune to this. I am susceptible to getting attacked like anyone else is. And I don't know, there is, you know, the occasions like that do make you realize that maybe we're not as invincible as
we're mortal, and I'm feeling very mortal. But can you imagine, Phil? I mean, we've had a lot of people on who've got PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and can you imagine if you've been in the war? If you've been in the war, Sen, I've just read your messages come up on my phone. Yes, precisely. Sorry, I've forgotten. Just a lot on my mind at the moment. And you know, falling in the street, walking a dog because you tripped over an uneven paving stone. It's not like exactly dramatic. It's just stupid. That's why they're called accidents. But then you're in the war. I totally understand how people suffer for years on, because I have flashbacks of this and it's freaking me out.
Can you still feel the sensation of when it actually happened? You know,
oh God, yes, the whole thing. I can't get it from playing. It's like playing in a stuck movie. Azadon Brown, it's about the acceptance of our vulnerability. That is the crux of it. This is what I was saying with Leslie Demeser a couple of days ago. I don't want to feel vulnerable. That's not me. It's not who I am, and I don't want to feel like that. But I do. And it's driving me mad. I don't like that. I'll be honest, I'm railing against it. You know, I'm railing against it. Elizabeth Green in Manhattan is saying this. Geez, I forgot about my bad knee yesterday and ran for a bus. And?
Ouch.
Yeah. A lot of people recently have been talking about aches and pains and stuff on Facebook and stuff like that. And I say, and I thank Larry Viner, who won't be hearing this because he's on holiday again. I have a stand-up desk. It has honestly transformed my life. Seriously, seriously transformed my life. You know, I've talked about it a lot. Phil's a young guy. Phil's 35. I'm not. But I have to say that following a car crash I had 24 years ago when I had to learn to walk again, etc., my back has always been tricky. This stand-up desk, which Larry gave me, is fantastic. I don't sit down all day, literally. I work standing up, I write standing up, I broadcast standing up at this stand-up desk. And the core strength that it gives you, it hasn't helped me look any fitter. Don't get me wrong at all. But the core strength, because I'm standing all the time, it's fantastic. Can't praise it highly enough. It's not a gimmick. I thought it was some sort of bullshit new age gimmick. It's not. It's great. No backache. No backache.
Don't
And
you
I'm
get
at my desk for
tired
hours.
standing up?
No, you don't. I thought I'd be like, oh, God, sit down. It's quite the opposite. Because you're not hunched up. You know what it's like. We both have similar lifestyles, and but I'm not hunched up. I'm standing up. I'm standing up straight. Helps you think. Helps you focus.
Help your legs drop off?
No. Oh, this is very good. I always thought your stand-up was Joe Good. What's he got? Now what's he saying? Not Joe. What have you done here? Oh,
I think he made a typo.
I don't know what he means. I thought your stand-up was no good, mate. I might bring it back. I'm not in the right headspace to bring it back, but I might bring it back. We might do a few shows. I think.
Oh, I tell you what's getting me down at the moment.
Okay, tell me about it, you young whippersnapper.
It's the weather, and not because it's not pleasant. I'm loving this heat. Okay, really enjoy. As I said,
I think
I do because no. I tell you why. It's because if I'd have known it was coming, I wouldn't have spent so much money going on holiday recently. However, what really irritates me is the way that we're being treated like we're absolute fools. For goodness sake, the way they say wear sun cream, when they say wear a hat, they're now saying level 4.
Keep hydrated.
Level 4 heat wave emergency declared for Monday and Tuesday. It's not an emergency. The sun is shining. It's summer. Get over it, for crying out loud. It's driving me absolutely mad. And furthermore, are you ready for this? This was the best bit of advice I read the other day. It is advisable not to wear woolen hats. No kidding. Thank you for that. I don't think that would have crossed my mind. Fancy that in the middle of a heat wave.
Over my coffee this morning, and I was just going through messages. By the way, Elizabeth Green Manhattan saying, I'm getting all the comments this morning. Do you mean you're not understanding them or you're not seeing them? You must be.
Well, they're not written about you. Jokes.
Everybody write a nice comment about Elizabeth Green in Manhattan. Everybody do that. And then she'll be happy. I'm so
over your
glad
morning coffee.
I'm so glad that you said this, Phil, because it's something that's been driving me mad. This bullshit nanny state is what they do is it's a distraction. I honestly believe it's a distraction. Keep hydrated. Yes, it's hot. If you're thirsty, drink water, you idiots. Of course, that's what we're going to do. Don't wear a woolen hat. What the bloody hell do you think people are doing? Wearing scarves and gloves and sheepskin coats? This is pathetic. And it's because they keep us so busy. This is my theory. Let's see what you think. They keep us so busy with this utter bullshit, this nonsense, this nanny state crap. And they don't deal with the big things. The economy. A tub of Lurpak, £10. Shut up. How are we supposed to live? So all the major things they're not dealing with. They're not talking about. Don't wear a woolly hat. What, somebody sat down and thought of this? Sort out the bloody economy. Sort out this ridiculous Nazi traffic systems that you're bringing in. That's another thing. It's all about control. All about control.
I can't stand it. It just gets me down.
Phil knows where I live, right? And Phil knows the area because he's been over loads of times. And it's quiet, although it's like 2 miles basically from Tower Bridge. That's all it is. It's 2 miles from Tower Bridge. It's very quiet. The streets are quiet. There's no traffic problems. There's no parking problems. They had a
Parking around
consultation.
your place is fantastic. I wish
you
I
won't
had
like
that.
what's coming. You won't like what's coming.
Oh.
So they had a consultation. So I filled in the form, and my partner filled in the form. We all filled in the form. And now,
everyone was on fine form.
And now, you ready? They're putting in yellow lines, permits everywhere. All those little quiet roads. There is absolutely no need for it. Firstly, they put in a load of speed bumps. No one was speeding down this road. They've put in a series of 5. The bus is now Magic Mountain ride in Disney. It's so rough when you go over this thing, right? Didn't need them. Didn't need them there. That's presumably there was too much money in the council and had to get rid of it. They're painting double yellow lines everywhere or residents parking. There's been no problem. Why are they doing this? Why?
Money.
So I thought, all right, sod it, bastards. I'll go and get a permit. I've got underground parking. I got parking where I live, and but I'll get a thing, if I'm visiting or shopping and whatever in the area, right? Do you know how much the bloody yearly permit is? It's like 130 quid. What a damn cheap. What, to park outside your own home? This is all bullshit. It's all control. It's all about money, and it's all stopping us moving. It's all stopping us moving.
But what really irritates me is that it feels like every single move is designed to obviously attack motorists. We know that there's a war against motorists. We know that. But it feels like every single move is designed to attack motorists. But not only that, to actually deliberately cause congestion. Because think about it. If people can't park in a hurry, what are they going to do? Well, they're going to keep driving around, clogging up the roads, looking for somewhere to park.
Man. When I first went to LA with my dear friend Francis, who lives there, who's actually from Manchester, but he's lived there he died 2 years ago, as you know. And in my naivety, I said, wherever we went, every little place for a coffee or for lunch or for dinner, I said, what's great? I said, Francis, it's amazing. We always manage to find a parking space. He said, Russ, you don't understand. In Los Angeles, if they open up a shop, a restaurant or something, and if you can't park right outside, that restaurant's out of business in a week. It's finished. It's done. We are so used to trying to find a space and then, thanking the parking gods when you finally do. They've done everything they can to slow us down, stop it. Now, some messages, then I want to come back to this theme. I'd love to know what you guys think. This is Dave Sleep. I missed your call yesterday. I'm sorry. I finally sat down after unpacking 1,000 boxes. Dave Sleep, greetings one and all, preparing for round 2 of hospital tests. Thanks for the laughs today. Doing our best. Dave Sleep, you would not want to be going through what Dave's going through. We wish you well. We send you love. Rosemary Jessup, what's this say? Young Philip?
It's red warning now, highest level. And yes, people should take it seriously, as so many people now have no common sense. Well, that's for sure.
Well, that's the problem then.
I will say, a neighbour saw loads of parked cars with dogs in them at the seaside yesterday. It's sickening. You see, the way I look at stuff like that is that if someone leaves a dog in a car on a day like today, then they don't. First of all, they should be banned from having pets, and secondly, I just think someone needs to break the dog out. But it doesn't mean the rest of us needs to be treated like idiots.
You can do that, by the way. If
legally,
the dog's in distress.
If the dog is in distress, or if the dog's life is at
but
threat,
you don't know if they've popped off to get an ice cream and they're coming back in 2 minutes' time. In America, what they do is they leave a sign on the window, which I've seen on lots of places. It says, "Please don't worry about the dog. The air conditioning's on, and she's listening to her favourite music." I think that's really great. Paul Claridge, he's moved to Putney now. He's not being beaten up by Eastern European drug gangs
anymore.
This is fantastic.
No.
Do you think the gangs are going to follow him?
East Croydon, sorry.
East Croydon.
Eastern
Paul
Croydon.
Claridge says, I agree with you guys. Bloody hell. We don't need to be told to take care. Do you want to read this? I'm going to just laugh.
We don't need to be told to take care when it's hot. We all know to keep hydrated and cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I am cool, but other than that.
Obviously, yeah. You'd like
but one thing I will reiterate to those idiots walking their dogs at the hottest times of the day, don't do it.
Precisely.
Leave the dog at home in a cool room with a cooling mat and loads of water. Hot weather kills dogs very quickly.
And the other thing I want to add to that is their paws burn on the pavements. Please No matter you think, I'm going to do my dog a favor and take it for a walk. No, unless it's a grassy area. But their paws get so hot. Don't do it. Wait until the evening. That's what I do. What's Rosemary Jessup saying? Well, what does that mean?
Elizabeth Green, of course. Here the dogs have shoes on. Of course they do.
Naturally. What have they got? They got Louboutin. Stilettos Louboutin with red soles.
They're wearing Jimmy Choo toy.
Oh, that's very good, Jim.
Thank you.
I didn't think of that. I want to say something before we bring on fabulous Chantal Rickards OBE. What's this say here, Rosemary Jessup? No cool place here. I live under a metal roof. Jesus Christ!
Live under a metal roof.
You're freezing your ass off. In the summer, you feel like a Christmas turkey. Why do you have a metal roof? Do you think maybe she lives in a coal shed? I don't know.
It was a steal.
It was a.
I'm on it today. I'm telling you.
You were like, she's like Iron Man.
Do you know what? Chantal has been waiting in the digital green room not 1 minute yet. She's already shaking her. She's already shaking her head at me. Come on.
Yeah, I know. I just want to say one thing. Oh no, we'll bring her on. We're going to ask her, ladies and gentlemen.
That's good. I can have a drink.
There she is.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi, Chantal.
Hint of grumpiness from the.
Have you?
The male
have you run out of weddings this week? Is nobody else? Do you want Phil and I to get around? Not to each other, obviously, because that would just be weird.
That would just be weird.
Would it be weird?
I'm all weddinged out. I've done 2 weddings in July, and I've got another one in August, and then that's it for the year.
That's goodness, wow. Do you know what? I'm sorry. Everyone thinks it's a lovely thing to invite someone to a wedding. I just see pound signs. It's expensive.
It's really expensive.
I could say something, but I won't, Phil.
What? I'm not trying to be a killjoy here. I'm just saying.
No. You wouldn't be. Hey, you know what's happened to me? And this is true. This is not a joke. I went to a lovely, lovely wedding. Debbie Jacobs' daughter got married again. I'm not to the same guy. They didn't get divorced. It's a long story. They got married.
Did they not get enough presents the first time around?
Who the hell? How many bloody toasters do these people need? For Christ's sake, they're in their 40s. So anyway,
genius. We've broken a couple of plates and the toaster's not working. Let's get married again.
You know what, Zoe? What? We need another fondue set. Let's get married again. So, fondue set. What a load of crap. Fondue. You sit there, and it's like napalm. It's like napalm. What's the point? You sit there.
Fondue is amazing. How can you say that?
Like napalm. It's just ridiculous. Neither here nor there. So I went to the V&A. Beautiful wedding at the V&A with Zoe and her husband. And it was gorgeous. Lovely event. And
V&A, why? How old are they? Oh, I see. You mean it was the venue. Sorry.
I hadn't been to like a function at the V&A. Chantal probably has her birthdays there, but anyway, it was fabulous, and I wore when I left Capital Radio, they gave me a Rolex. It was lovely, and it's very, very sentimental to me. I left in 2004, so it's a 2004 Rolex. Lovely, and I wore it for the wedding. I went to put it on this week for something special, and it's gone. Can't find it. It's gone. Can't find it.
No.
I don't know where the hell it is. Lost my Rolex. Gone. No idea. It's gone.
Oh my god.
So I've told mine. Yeah, it's not that watch. It's just very sentimental. It's engraved on the back from the guys at Capital. It means a lot to me personally because it was so unexpected. They handed me this box. I've been here 20 years. What's in the box? Oh my god. It's a beautiful Rolex, and it's gone. So I've had to tell my insurance people, and there's a website that you have to register now. I'm throwing this in. It's something like Reporting Stuff Lost, and it goes on like a national database. So if somebody's trying to
immediately links up to eBay.
Well, that's the thing, because if somebody tries to probably. Anyway,
and I just say allegedly, by the way, in case eBay
are watching. Anyway. So that's just to add to everything that's going on. So it's like, how has this disappeared? How is it possible?
God,
but it has. It hasn't. No, it can't have been stolen because they would have stolen like other stuff. So it's just
really, it might.
No, really, honestly, no. Although Ebony is looking a little shifty.
Oh,
She's looking at, and she keeps looking at her paw like.
Has she bought a
"Ooh."
new collar recently?
Yes, this is. How did you know that? She's bought a new rhinestone. Wow, this is interesting about
Like a
dogs.
rhinestone collar.
Look at this. This is from Lisa James. Hi, Lisa. I saw a guy walking his pooch, and the dog was skipping because his paws were clearly burning. I told the guy he should pick it up and get it home. He told me to F off.
Gracious. Well, yes.
Chantal,
I mean, this is the problem, though, is that we live in a very aggressive world at the moment. Don't you think so, Fishface? It's just as a result of it, we're just approaching other people out of good intentions. Graciously, I just knocked the microphone there. Approaching other people out of good intentions, unfortunately, doesn't go down very well anymore.
no, I think you're right about that, Phil. It's a very good observation that people automatically now think
it's
that
an
you're
attack.
not trying to be helpful, that you're trying to be aggressive and make some, negative comment. It's a very good observation.
Thanks.
Dave Sleet, he of the ANA company. Canine boots seem crazy, but service dogs have used protective paw wear since World War II. Canine care in heat is vital. Remember, they can't take their coats off. Or there must be a government department who's going to issue that saying, please remember, your dogs can't take their coats off.
No, worse. It's going to say, we don't advise your dog wears fur in this weather. Thanks for that.
That'll be... Chantal, you're much more sensible than Phil and I are, and we've known you a long time.
Occasionally.
I certainly have. No, you are. Yeah, I mean, you're the grown-up here. How do you feel about all this nanny state stuff?
Well, it's sort of interesting because the Central Office of Information, which was the advertising department for the British government, used to be the largest spender of advertising pounds in the United Kingdom. And then the whole thing got disbanded about 12 or 14 years ago, something like that. And if you think about it, the nanny state's been here an awfully long time. We were constantly getting messages about, don't forget to, sweep your chimney. Don't forget the clocks go back. Don't forget this. Don't forget that. I mean, it was, and The Archers, the longest running radio show in the world, was created by the Department of Agriculture to tell us about...
I didn't know that.
Yes, when it was created with their help, but supported by them. Wow. So basically, that all farmers were told when to bring in their crops, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Phil. I can hear Phil's cogs turning.
No, I promise you can't. Not for that.
No. Right. Okay.
I just genuinely didn't realise that The Archers was actually originally designed as sort of almost like a guidebook, I suppose.
Well, it's an everyday story of
look it up whilst we're chatting. Just look it up because I think.
What do they say? An everyday story of
country folk.
Country folk.
Correct.
That was an everyday story of country folk. Nice.
Good Lord.
Yeah, The Archers. Okay. But it's. The other thing that I was saying, and it's something I feel very strongly about, is they are trying to do two things with all this parking restrictions.
Yeah. One, I think that's a money raiser.
It's clearly stealth tax.
Yeah, definitely.
And number two, there is a theory. This is what I don't want to say conspiracy theories, but this is the theory. And it's quite interesting, but it is quite extreme, but parts of it resonate. So before you all go, oh, Russ is wearing his tin hat. I'm not like that. It's about control. If you can't drive, you're not able to travel that much. So you put together the price of fuel. So people are saying, well, I'm not going to drive. And then they're saying, well, you can't park, so therefore they don't want you to travel. And the theory then expands to, well, the way that they tested this was during COVID. And they said, and if you remember, they said you can only travel, I think it was 5 miles from where you live.
Yeah, correct.
And it's not a huge jump. And I really don't think you have to be a tinfoil hat wearer to think. They tried that, and the whole nation within a week was compliant. Oh, we better do that.
One of my rebuttal to that is,
Okay.
you think they're that organised?
No, I don't know. I don't think the
through?
no,
They're
Chantal,
completely disorganised.
Chantal, there's two things here, and I do believe this. The buffoons that we see
Does
on
anyone
our
want a biscuit?
Yeah, thank you. The buffoons that
This
we
could
see...
be a long one.
No. I agree. No, Chantal, I totally agree. I'm just interested because you're a very sensible person. I get very emotional about it, all right, because I'm angry about it. It's this. The buffoons we see on the TV telling us that they're not the people running anything. They run nothing.
Right.
The people that we never see, who they actually report to, the people who are funding their campaigns, etc.,
Yeah.
that's totally different. You don't think Biden's running anything, do you? He couldn't find his ass with both hands. You think Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris is an idiot. I mean, I had such high hopes for her. I listen to her speeches and I think, how does someone so thick get so far? Because really, she is that. It's mind-boggling. And I thought she was going to be great. So I take no pleasure in that at all. They're not running anything at all.
No, but maybe we do need all these messages telling us what to do, because some people are remarkably stupid.
Well,
I mean,
if they die, they die.
I did see a woman on the bus yesterday wearing a winter coat and a woolen hat. And I just thought, you're a complete moron.
They didn't get the message.
They didn't get the message.
They're wearing a woolen hat.
Told.
Unbelievable. Woolly hat memo was actually designed for that woman. Wow.
Was she Meg Griffin? Because she never takes a woolly hat off. Azadon Brown in New York State is going, Phil, I'd love one. Thank you. Okay. And this is good from Dave Sleet. This is very... Popeye was
I'll send it in the post.
Government. He's going to post it to you. Popeye, just Azadon Brown, America. It'll bound to find him. Popeye was a US government creation too.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you look at the early
But that doesn't
Popeye
surprise me.
Oh, yes. Look at the early Popeye cartoons from World War II.
Yeah.
Which you're never allowed to see anymore because he's beating up the Japanese. You can imagine what the Japanese actually looked like in these cartoons during the war.
Oops.
Good
They
Lord.
don't look like the people in your local Datsun dealership.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Where are we going with these stereotypes, Russell?
Well, that was the war.
Get yourself out now,
that's
quick.
the war. Hey, if you're in a war, who cares? All bets are off. All bets are off. Right. What have you seen? What have you seen?
Oh God, I don't know where to start this week.
Pick somewhere. Who cares?
Well, I'll
It doesn't
tell you
matter.
what,
It'll all be great.
I went to the movies last week because actually, if you're feeling hot outside, go and use somebody else's aircon and sit and watch a movie.
Genius.
It'll cool you down a lot.
Genius. That's brilliant. Love that. Here was
See,
me thinking
Beauty
the
and
answer
Brains.
was
Am I
Book
allowed
in
to
the
say that in
Sunshine.
2022? Probably not. There you go. I use the word beauty.
You can, if it's. I'm very happy with you mentioning.
Do you know
beauty.
how many compliments? How many people, when I'm in conversation, I'll be talking about, it and they go, "You know that Chantal Rickards who's on a Friday?" I go, yes. And then I have to listen to like a eulogy about you. I swear to God, how many conversations I have during the week.
Tell them to put a knot in it.
No, they're so right.
Ouch.
Put a knot in it.
Painful.
It's a little bit optimistic, isn't it? God, it's a lot about your love life. Blimey.
Oh no, well we'll come to that later. I've got a very special program for you to watch later.
Oh,
but I tell you where I'm going to start. I'm going to start
Is it
with
Knots Landing?
No, not. Very clever, very clever. He always gets there before you and I. That's the difference.
God damn, that was very good.
That's the difference between us having a brain that is 35 years older than
35 years older than Phil.
Yeah. Anyway, there we are.
Well, mine is yours.
An image for you.
I'm going to send you to something mindless, but actually jolly good fun, but featuring a lot of beefcake. And shoot me down if you don't like beefcake, but actually...
I'm veggie. Keep going. I'm sure we'll pick up.
You're veggie. You're pancake.
I tell you what's out this week is the new Marvel movie called Thor.
Oh, yes.
Love and
Is this a
Thunder.
Disney Plus thing?
No,
in the
it's actually
cinema.
it's a big cinema movie.
Oh, it's in the
250
cinemas. Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
proper old-fashioned cinema. I went to see it in Leicester Square the night before it came out.
Ooh.
There must have been 750 people in the room who absolutely laughed their socks off. I have to say, I had never seen a Marvel movie, and that's terrible. You know, having
I'm so
5
sorry. I
years in
thought
Hollywood.
for someone who was ex-CEO of BAFTA Los
I
Angeles
know.
just said I've never seen a Marvel movie.
No,
That
well,
must
'cause
be.
it's-
Hello. No, I can't hear you. No,
Yeah.
gone wrong.
No, it was. I'd certainly never see. I did see the Black Panther actually when I was in the US, but I've never seen the Thor movies.
Oh no,
Which,
you never seen Iron Man?
oh,
Iron
have
Man's
you?
the best. Iron Man's the best ones with Robert.
Is that a
Downey Jr.
Marvel movie or is that a
Yeah.
DC movie?
No. Sacrilege.
No,
They're all Marvel.
okay.
It's all part of the
Technically, it's
Marvel
Marvel.
universe.
Is
all
it
part of the Marvel.
okay?
It's all part of the
In
Marvel
that case, right, I have seen a Marvel movie,
universe.
but I hadn't seen
Goodness,
the
for
one
that,
where
and
it's
that
sort
news has made me have to have another biscuit after. I was shocked, as horrified. Gracious me!
Anyway,
Don't
all
mind
I
me.
No, we don't.
is that it's very slapstick. It's very, very silly. It's incredibly well made.
Yeah.
This one and the one before have both been made by a New Zealand filmmaker called Taika Waititi, who I think we've mentioned before, because he made that absolutely crazy film called Jojo Rabbit that came out.
Jojo Rabbit. Oh yes.
And he's like an alternative comedian that's suddenly been thrown at the Marvel movies. So he's really ramped up the comedy. And some people are saying, well, this isn't quite right. It's got a bit silly. It's all a bit over the top. I actually laughed like a drain. The jokes are really stupid. Chris Hemsworth looks absolutely fantastic.
He's terrific, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's
Natalie
just
Portman, who
charismatic.
plays Thor's ex-wife, soon-to-be new wife, ex-girlfriend, soon-to-be new girlfriend. It's never really quite explained. But she's played by Natalie Portman, who I think is massively miscast because she just doesn't come across.
She hasn't got a comedic face, has she?
She hasn't got a comedic face. That's a very good way of saying it.
Yeah.
So I don't think she's terribly well cast, but everybody else, I mean, extraordinary cast. They've got Russell Crowe in it. They've got Christian Bale, who's the bad guy. They've got Matt Damon in it. There's a bit of controversy over the people they cut out, because they did cut out Jeff Goldblum, which, yes, exactly. And a couple of other people literally hit the cutting room floor, as they say. And their pieces were taken out of the movie. So there's been a bit of controversy in the press about that, but generally it's gods versus the rest. There's a rumble in the jungle. There's a whole load of mishmash going on. It's hilariously funny. It's very good fun, and if you love that stuff, it's brilliant.
How much do you think you laughed because it was clever humor, and how much do you think you laughed because it was just nervous laughter?
No, not nervous laughter at all. It's slapstick. It's good old-fashioned slapstick. And when you get Russell Crowe playing a sort of rather effete sort of Roman god in his sort of short skirt and looking utterly ridiculous with this rather squeaky Larry Grayson voice, you can only laugh. I mean, it's just hilarious.
Shut that door, shut that door. It's freezing cold in here.
It's really strange you say Larry Grayson. I was speaking to someone maybe about 2 hours ago, if that, about Kenny Everett. And he was saying that he felt that Kenny was the first kind of person who made sort of camp humor acceptable. I said, no, I think it was Larry Grayson who did that.
It was Larry Grayson.
No. I have to go back to Leslie, what's his
Crowther.
No, up Pompeii. Who was up Pompeii?
Frankie Howard. No,
Frankie
don't.
Howard.
No, don't.
Yeah,
that's why I say that at the front end of every show. Greetings and salutations, my Frankie Howard tribute. You've got to go back further to Max Miller.
Oh, that's
so Max Miller, who wasn't camp at all, but he came on these fantastic floral suits.
I was going to say, he came to talking about wife jokes, didn't he? How's that camp?
No, and he'd walk on and say, well, and he'd just stand there and go, well, what if I am? He just left it at Max Miller. If you've ever seen clips of him, was that...
Okay.
Make any jokes you like, Phil. Wait for it. It was way before my time. It was my dad's time, but funny as hell. Very, very funny.
For me, I think it was Frankie Howard. I
Yep.
think it was Frankie Howard. Yeah, I can't think of anybody before that. But then even when I was
Well,
watching
Stanley Baxter,
Howard,
maybe Stanley Baxter.
no, it's a bit
Still
too
alive.
early for me.
Still alive,
Anyway,
Stanley
there we
Baxter.
are.
I digress. So there you go. So that's the new Marvel film.
So that's
Sounds
the new
great.
Marvel film. So now, boys, you've got to go and see something. And it might be too late for you, Russ, but I think, Phil, you need to go and definitely go and see this.
Don't like the
And
sound of
send
this.
all your young men friends along to see it. It's called How to Please a Woman. It's a new movie.
I don't care. I couldn't give a monkeys, you know. Eat the pizza and go home. That's it. I don't
Actually,
care.
I think I sat and watched it last night and I laughed and laughed and laughed. Now that may be because I'm a woman, and
Could
then a
be.
lot of the jokes are actually it's no. That
We're
was
all
gonna
the men crying at the thought, sitting
For men, it was
around
a
you,
tragedy.
sobbing,
It's like the old Bobby
realizing
Davro.
where they've
It's
gone
like the
wrong
old
all
Bobby-
these years.
It's like the old Bobby Davro thing. I got comedy over here. I've got tragedy over there. It's exactly the audience.
No, I watched it on my own because it's on Sky Cinema. It features Sally Phillips, who I think is one of the loveliest British actresses.
Why do we know her?
She's
Was
the
she?
sidekick in Bridget Jones, the pretty blonde sidekick in
Isn't
Bridget
she the one who goes? Oh God, what's the one when she's on the phone? Is she Miranda? Is that Miranda Hart
Yeah, she-
person?
No, not Miranda Hart person. Think
Oh,
of Bridget Jones and think of Bridget Jones's best friend.
Can't. I don't know.
Who's
I
got
can't
sort of
remember
crinkly
anything about.
blonde hair.
No, I can't remember anything about. Can't remember
Phil,
anything
try
about
and find a
her.
photograph of her to show our leader so he knows immediately who Sally Phillips
She
is. Because actually, she's quite well known.
No, I know she's well known, but I wouldn't know.
And
what
by
she
the
looks
way, you're
like.
thinking of Sarah Hadland, by the way, in terms of the sidekick from
What, Miranda Hart? What did she
Right.
used to say when she was on the phone? God, that
Bear
killed
with,
me.
bear with, bear with.
Oh man, I loved that. That made me laugh.
Loved it so much you forgot it.
I can't think of the catchphrase. It's I got a lot on my mind
Bear
and I'm on
with.
a lot of drugs. Shut up.
Bear
Anyway,
with.
I'm going to
So-
tell you about this film because it's a bit like the Full Monty. And
Lord.
anything about men
Wasn't
trying to
expecting
be
that.
sexy. Yeah, but
Oh,
Men try-
controversy. Emma Webb, excuse me. Sally Phillips was in Miranda and Smack the Pony.
Oh, was she in Miranda? In that case, forgive me. I never watched Miranda. I didn't know that.
A
Oh,
lot of people
dear.
couldn't stand it, and I thought it was hilarious.
Ah,
Other
well, there
people
we
I
are.
know, especially
I
female
won't
comedians, loads.
bore you with the details why. I can't find a photo that I'm legally allowed to use on here. So
I'll be back.
I've got to show you something. I got to show you.
people
I've got
just
an
have to
answer
Google
your-
Sally Phillips. Sorry.
Right.
I've got an answer to Chantal's question. Hold
Can't
your
find a
horses.
Creative Commons. Sorry.
No.
But not through lack of trust. Where's he gone? Does he know we're live? Crying out loud. What's the matter with it? He has
He's
the go at it.
disappeared.
He's got the audacity to have a go at me for going to get a biscuit. At least I wait until someone's saying something. Oh, hello. Round the horn. Good Lord. Gracious. Who's that?
Ah, now there's a radio show and a half.
There you go.
Round the horn. Wow.
Yeah, I
that
found
is
this in my lockup.
Mm.
I've got the CD. I'm going to play them in the car.
That's so brilliant.
Oh, they kill me.
Wait, you
these
have a
two.
CD player in your car?
I'm going.
Car's not that old.
I'm going off you two.
Yeah, I'm going off you, Phil, because I've got a CD player in my car
Yeah,
too.
what have you got? What have you got? A gramophone. What have you got?
An auxiliary
Oh, dear,
port,
dear, dear.
Bluetooth
I've got
audio.
an auxiliary port, Bluetooth. Yes, I've got all that. I've also got a
Right,
CD
talking
player.
about Bluetooth, there is a piece in this film that is so ridiculous
Thought it was
because
a letter
apparently
box.
you could now get Bluetooth vibrators, so you can turn them on from afar, which sort of makes the
Jesus.
mind go a bit peculiar. But there is
It's not the only thing that will go peculiar. Say again, sorry. What? Sorry. You just
it's actually-
imagine.
It's the funniest sequence in the whole film, and it really is worth watching. I haven't even told you what the film's about yet.
No,
It's,
I've
Sally
got a rough
Phillips-
idea. Keep going. I'll pick up.
Sally Phillips loses her job and sets up a cleaning
I
company.
thought she was going to lose something else there, but anyway.
She sets up a cleaning company with lots of sort of beefcake men who go around, take their shirts off, which reminded me actually when I was watching it of two businesses in Los Angeles when I worked there. One of them was called Naked Cleaners, and the other one was called Topless Maids. And actually, I checked them out this morning to see if they're still working in Hollywood, and they are. They're $165 an hour. And you can
I'm
get
slightly surprised at you, Chantal. I wouldn't have thought you'd lower yourself to working for one of those sorts of establishments. Oh, I see. When you're working in LA. Sorry. Okay, now
I think people would be throwing clothes at me, not asking me to take them off.
Oh,
anyway, thank you for the thought.
Really?
But this is the basic premise of the film, is Sally Phillips doing this, I've got to make money. How am I going to make money? And she sets up this, service company for people who want their houses cleaning. It is really funny. I would urge you to watch it, because I think even if you're a bloke, you'll find it funny. And if you don't find it funny, you'll learn a thing or two.
Uh-oh.
Wait, so I have a question then. So where do the Bluetooth things come into it?
Well, all I will say is that Sally Phillips is using her Bluetooth vibrator and somebody else picks up the remote. I'm not saying any more than that.
Paul Andrews makes a good point, and it says Chantal's advert feed will be interesting for the next few weeks while searching for those on Google.
That actually reminds me, there's an episode of Mrs. Brown's Boys, where actually, and it's this very similar kind of thing, except it's not a Bluetooth device. Well, I suppose it is, but not in that way. She doesn't have a pocket to put her mobile phone. Mrs. Brown doesn't have a pocket to put her mobile phone in. So she shoves it in her skirt and she puts it on silent. And of course, silent means that it vibrates. And as a result of it, she's having tea with the vicar. Someone's trying to call her. And all you see is just her sort of sitting there looking very po-faced at first. But then she's sort of like just gradually working her way down the table as she can't cope with the number of times that this person is miscalling her. And every so often she'll say, "Yes, Father, yes!" And be absolutely hysterical.
I love that show. I don't know, everybody else hates it, and I think Mrs. Brown's
brilliant.
Cracks
it's
me
absolutely
up.
brilliant.
The guy who played the son, the hairdresser, he and I tweet each other. Rory, he and I tweet each other every day. He's the most amusing, charming, has a lovely life over in Ireland. Elizabeth Green from Manhattan is saying, Chantal, what is the film called?
It's called hang on. How to Clean Your Mother. No, How to Please a Woman.
Good Lord.
How to Please a Woman.
Yes.
Okay. I find cash never offends.
Now, well, we shouldn't go there, should we?
I don't know. Why not? Well, we shouldn't go anywhere because Sadiq Khan has decreed we have to stay at home forever. It's interesting. By the way, just very before we get on to the next thing, with Round the Horn, which was incredibly camp, and they introduced two characters, and I've got those separate on CD as well, Julian and Sandy. Hello, I'm Julian. This is my friend Sandy. Every week there was a thing where Kenneth Horne needed to go on a travel agent, or he needed a cleaner, or he needed his car fixed, and it would be Bonar Mechanics or Bonar Travel or something. And they put in what they called Alder Polari. They put in all the gay stuff. And
really?
And the BBC executives had no idea.
Wow.
They just thought they were talking nonsense, like Stanley Unwin. But of course, they got away with it for years, and everybody else was cracked up because they got Kenneth Williams and Hugh Paddock's gags completely. And the BBC executives had to check the scripts, went right over their heads, which makes the shows even more hilarious because the double entendre are.
Love a double entendre.
Oh God. Oh God.
Elizabeth Green says Bert and Ernie on Sesame Street were questionable. That's for sure.
Really? Were they the two old guys in the
No,
thing?
that's Statler.
No, that's Statler and Waldorf. No. Bert and Ernie were the orange and yellow puppets on Sesame Street who lived together and were frequently seen in bed together and stuff like that. And
I didn't know that.
Gee, he used to say things like, "Gee, boy," and it was that kind of sort of puppet or whatever.
Really?
You'd know them if you saw them.
Statler and Waldorf are me and Lloyd Beanie. That's what we've become. I don't like this. You never liked it. And that's our lives now. Yeah. Right. What else?
Okay. Well, I'm going to try and keep the mood up.
Okay.
And actually, because the Emmys nominations came out this week, the Emmys are the big television awards in America, and the noms, as they call them, the noms came out this week.
Noms?
The noms.
Nominations.
The nominations.
Are people too lazy to say nominations? I mean,
Nominations.
how
they're
much
too
of your life is that going to take up?
Yeah.
Oh, I've saved
It's
the
just
nanosecond.
taking considerably longer explaining it, actually.
Yeah.
That's the irony.
Precisely. What
Exactly.
nominations?
So
Obviously,
several of the TV shows we've talked about before. The one that has got the most noms is Hacks, which Russ, you and I absolutely adore.
And big news. Big news.
Yeah, so that's been nominated.
No, big news for you,
Oh, big news
Chantal.
for me.
The lady who plays the young writer, I got a phone call yesterday inviting me to this. I've got to pay for the ticket.
Yes, she's called Hannah Einbinder.
She's coming to London to do stand-up later in the
Is
year.
she?
Yes, she is.
Wow.
That's your date night sorted, you
So
two.
you
Good
should
work.
come with. You should get a
Excellent.
ticket. See if we can all go together.
Oh,
'cause
we
all love
should.
the
That
show.
would be brilliant.
Yes,
Very
I've got to
good.
apologise. My cousin's going to be there. So,
Uh-oh.
but no, you'll get on fine.
Right. Okay.
And also, did you know that who her mother is?
No.
No, have you tried
Really?
asking her father?
Shut up, Phil. Just because she got a new flat. Her
I'm
mother.
loving Phil's flat. Actually, there is something
Thank
from
you.
my POV, just so that you know. You're both sitting at a desk,
Standing.
and on camera left is a clock on the wall. I don't know what it is about blokes' flats, but
Yeah.
clearly you all sit where you sit with a clock on the wall to your left.
I have a clock on every.
It's
wall.
just so I can
Oh,
make
yeah.
sure I absolutely don't run over this nonsense longer than I have to.
Yeah, and he's got things to do like eating biscuits. When I lived in New York, they just started a little show called Saturday Night Live.
Ah,
And
Did it ever take off?
No, nothing.
No.
And one of the original not ready for start again. Take
It's
two,
easy
love.
for you to say.
Not ready for prime time players. It was her
Yeah.
mother.
oh, really?
Yep, whose name's gone right out of my head. Not
Okay.
Gilda Radner, and not the fabulous Jane. Gilda Radner died very early at 42. Was married to Gene Wilder. She died of cancer, and not the fabulous Jane Curtin, who was in Third Rock from the Sun. Not her
Right.
either.
I can't
You've
help you on
lost
that
me.
one.
All right.
Although the next thing I'm going to talk about actually does feature one of the guys from SNL, as they call it in America, Saturday Night Live.
Mhm.
'Cause obviously, it's not a show that we know or recognize over here particularly, but it
Lorraine Newman, yes, thank you, Mary.
Lorraine Newman, right?
That's from Kentucky.
Yeah.
No, Mary G. Williams is in Kentucky. I'm not joking. That's where she is. Thank you, Lorraine Newman. That was her. Yep.
Well, this comedy show, it's a sitcom. It's a sort of comedy drama that has been voted, has got the second highest nominations for the Emmys. Is something called Only Murders in the Building, which is a really weird title. It's written by the lovely Steve Martin and features Steve Martin and a guy called Martin Short, who was in Saturday Night Live and who's a comedy actor, Canadian comedy actor. And actually,
but Jiminy
Cricket? No,
you don't see Steve Martin Short's series about Jiminy Glick, the character. It's
Martin Short, if anyone doesn't know who he is, he was the one who played Frank, the wedding planner in Father of the Bride.
He
And
did.
also Three Amigos, Martin Short.
Yeah.
Martin Short created a thing called Jiminy Glick. You wouldn't know it was him. He's got prosthetics and he interviews the biggest stars on the planet. You have got to find it on YouTube. It's Jiminy Glick.
Okay, I don't know it at all.
Chantal, you will be crying with laughter, I promise you.
Okay.
Gotta
Well,
There you go.
forgive me for not knowing that. But they are very, very funny together. They're clearly very good friends. And I saw them doing a double act in Las Vegas about 4 years ago because they've been touring together since 2018. But anyway, so they are two old guys who live in a building on the Upper West Side in New York.
What is with the old guys today?
Well, okay. Gentlemen in their 70s, let's just put it that
Care
way.
in the community, Russell.
There's a bit of care in the community, but also living in the building is Sting, who plays himself. This is very random. And also Selena Gomez, who is not playing herself, is just a young, aspiring professional in New York. But the three of them, excluding Sting, are all crime podcast fanatics. but the whole thing opens, it's a 10-part series, it opens with a dead body. So they then create their own crime podcast around trying to find out who has killed the person who is dead, who the police...
And that is, sorry, Chantal, we're totally out of time. That's on where, sorry, what's it called?
Only Murders in the Building, and it's
Only
on
Murders in the
Disney
Building.
Plus.
Marvelous
It's worth
stuff.
watching.
Chantal, thank you so
Well
much.
done.
It's such a pleasure as ever to be in your company. And Russ, I suppose
Absolutely.
we should probably do this all over. Well, you'll be back on Monday at midday.
I'll be
and we
back
should
on
probably do
Monday
it all
with
again
Neil
next
Longy
Friday.
Long.
Yeah.
See you,
Anyway,
gang. Have a
then whatever
lovely
you're up
weekend.
to, have yourselves a marvelous
Yeah,
weekend.
and don't wear a woolly hat.
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
get
no, don't
hot.
do that.
Take your scarves
No.
off.